The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
Hi everyone, Basil Chapman on this Friday, the 24th of September, and we are looking at, this is going to be very interesting. Look at this, this is the Dow Transports. Nice move up, $1.09 at 250.11, the 241.25 low that was made just the beginning of the week. What exactly was that date? That was on the 20th, the 20th of September, which, let me just check here. Yep, but that was on the Monday gap down, big down day altogether. Now look where we are in the weekly chart. This is a nice turnaround green candle. It's done this many times, but it hasn't supported the rally. This is going to be very important because it's finally above the 200-period moving average. It's above the 9, above the 14, but the 9 hasn't turned up. It hasn't turned green. Well, it's turned up, but it hasn't crossed over the 14-period moving average. I want to see the transportation, and this is going to be a very important beginning of October that we're looking at when we finally get into the first week of October, because if there is this rotational sector correction that unfolds at every serious decline, we want to see, look, if you go to JETS, which is oh, look at that. JETS up 25 cents at 24.17. This is the U.S. Global JETS ETF. Look at this pattern here. Look at the monthly chart. There's a wedge formation coming in here. It's holding support. It's making a leg let me get that exactly right. I think it's still only a B. 23.50, 23, can't be 46 surely. 23.46. 23.50. Okay, it is. So this is a leg B in the weekly chart, finally getting rid of that rectangle formation, pushing above it, and that's the airline. U.S. Global JETS is the airline ETF. Very important. I want to see a rotation. In fact, it'll be really impressive if over the coming weeks we kind of get a stalling in the QQQs. 1, 2, 3. There it is. QQQs are down $1.42 at 371.58. I should mention that we do have a short position in the Qs. What we're looking at here, you see the MACD is very weak in the daily. The 9 period is very much underneath the 14 period moving average. The stochastic is only at 38%. On balance volume did make a nice turnaround, but so far the day is young. Let's face it, we're not even 45 minutes into the trading day, and we've had everything up and down and up and down. So now what you're looking at is if the QQQs anytime next week, I don't even care what day it is, anytime next week closes, it can't just go above 374.04 for leg B, gray leg B. It's got to close above that level. If it does that, then this downtrend line, which is a downtrend line, so every day, it's a daily chart, every day is going to be slightly lower by, let's go to, by early next week, any close above 375, it's at 371.55 right now, would be very impressive. And I'd say that's probably still a gray leg B, a blue would indicate you've got the stochastic rallying sharply, the on-balance volume sharply, the MACD is just crossed positive, and the 9-period moving average is over the 14. That's a lot to ask of the QQQs, because if you look at this rotation, and what's very interesting is you've got square in the den. Someone mentioned the square's down sharply. I was looking at this. I drew the trend line in. It's one that periodically we've had as a position, but we're usually just in for a very short time, raise the stop and see if we can hold it as long as possible. And almost always gets stopped out. Most importantly, what we're looking at here within the context of this Chapman Wave Inside Track. This is Technical Friday, so we're going to get into the technicals. This Chapman Wave Inside Track repellent zone is that it popped above it yesterday. Is almost like a parallel number of days between the peak G high that was made at 289 23 on the 5th of August. The high that was made 31st of August at 276.14, and the pop up yesterday of 23rd. And notice how it's like a monthly 4-week trading upside move. 268.17, and then it pulls back. It's just done the same thing. MACD is kind of good. It's cross positive, but it's not great. The histogram has just barely gone positive. The stochastic's still weak at 59%. On-balance volume is weak. The relative strength has been quite good. It's at about 50%. It's okay. So this is a square peak D, and peak D, the fourth highest peak in the Chapman wave, is something we always note. In the weekly chart, it's been stalling since at just under 290 high, and it's just consolidating. The monthly chart is still pretty good. So I just wanted to mention, let's just do this while we're on it. We're looking at Amazon, down 12 at 34.03. Just can't get going. Apple down 90 cents at 145.95. Amazon, Apple. Let's go to Facebook. Facebook is up 69 cents at 346.66. Got smacked real hard after the peak D double top back around early September in the 380s, and now it's trading at the 346 level. This is quite a smash. Weekly chart, the daily's in a sell mode. The weekly chart today at Friday, I will probably call it a sell mode. And the monthly chart, leg E, I don't have to use any alternate count. Facebook, social media, 346.53, up 57 cents. I think it's got a bit of a problem. It can have a bit of a bounce, but I think that it's in a sell mode in the daily and the weeklies. Weekly chart, I would be careful of this. Let's go to Netflix and FLX. Netflix down 6 at 587, made a 614.60 peak E top in the Chapman wave methodology in the daily, an alternate count E/C in the weekly with the technical still very good. Don't have to bother there. And a leg D in the Netflix online videos, leg D in the monthly chart. With technicals, the 9 is still way above the 14, but the MACD's sluggish. It's just barely positive, and the stochastic's under 80% at 68%. So Netflix, what am I missing here? What are we talking about? We're talking about, did Amazon, did Apple, did Netflix, did Facebook? Oh, Googie. Googie is trading at, Alphabet is trading up 8.53 at 28.45. This is going to be very interesting. Why? Because within the context of that peak F top of 29.36.41 in the daily, it's in a sell mode in the daily. It's in a, I'm not going to say it's in a sell signal yet in the weekly chart, but it has made a peak doji top, peak D, doji top. MACD's turned negative. Stochastic still good at 84%. On balance volume is not bad. The 90 is still way above the 14 and still very strong. So Alphabet, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm calling it a leg F in the monthly chart, but believe me, this is a powerful company. That peak D that was made with one bar and a doji candle at that rest back in February, going into March. This could be an alternate count F/B. We'll be back in a moment. Dow's up 23, S&P's down 38. We'll talk about indices and bonds. We're going to go through a lot of things inside. And I will show the thing.
Are you looking for a way to consistently add winning trades to your portfolio? Tom O'Brien is here to help. Tom O'Brien has been successfully trading markets for over 30 years. A frequent contributor to TD Ameritrade Network and CNBC, Tom O'Brien founded TFNN over 20 years ago to help educate investors just like you. Tom's daily market newsletter, Market Insights, is published every morning when the markets open to give you the competitive informational edge you need to succeed. These newsletters are packed full of Tom's advanced technical analysis and are geared to deliver comprehensive strategies for a successful portfolio. Get Tom O'Brien's newsletter, Market Insights, today and try all of our products and newsletters 30 days risk-free with our money-back guarantee at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Hi folks, we're back. I had a question. Actually, I got a lot of questions. So let me just get to these things and we'll cover the indices as we move along. FCX, which is Freeport-McMoRan, copper, it's trading up 51 cents to 32.62. My big concern here after the peak D high that was made back in early August, that was in the 39s. It traded down to 30, 9 points from 30. We're talking, that's a big percentage. But most importantly, what we are looking at is the bounce since it's broken under the 200-period moving average of 32.91. This is really, when I look at this, I'm saying to myself, if copper, which is really important, the overall structure of the economies around the world really looks at copper as being, it's important now for different reasons because it's added with the batteries, etc. But it is important, and together with wood, which is the global iShares, where did I type that? Let me put it back here. Did I do that? Oh, I typed in the den. Wood, which is the global iShares Timber and Forestry ETF, made a peak D early September in the 92 level, pulls back to 84, 6 points, not too bad, but it had a 98.88 high in May of this year. So when you put it into context and you see the pattern that's unfolding, there's a digestive period coming in, and it says there's been some kind of stalling. If you look at the HGX, that's copper, you'll see what I mean. It isn't breaking down. Wood did break down to a certain extent, but now it's come back to quite a nice level. So high-grade copper is just stuck in a range, just as if I would say gold is stuck in a range. Look, here's the range, making low lows and lower highs, but still way above that early August smash under 1680 in the continuous contract, showing now at 1744 after having a peak D. Remember, peak D in the Chapman methodology, always got to respect that. Just under 1840, and you pull back sharply. So if you're looking at the Chapman falling axe formation, technical Friday, do I get into that? But I've already moved 6 steps away from the question of FCX. So let me come back to this. You can see that the minerals, basically the commodities, let's call it the harder commodities. We can talk about it as if gold was a hard commodity. That's been struggling over here. There are a couple of reasons. I have to move to a 7th iteration of this whole thing. If you're looking at what I considered that gold was within a trading band, an intraday type trading aspect for those people who used to trade the GDX or gold itself, just a lot. The Bitcoin futures continuous contract, that took over and had a spectacular re-rally, not an all-time high in the 65,000. We've been long, still long, a little position. We've had fantastic gains all the way up. But it had a move today that went from the high of 53,125 back in early September down to the 200-period moving average near 40,070. Let's go to 41. And today's low is 40,810. It's down now 27.35. A lot has to do with what's going on in China. That's why I think that's what kind of impacted a little bit the square. You see, I've moved nine steps away from the original question. All of this I consider to be part and parcel of what we're looking at. I've moved away only because this is the smorgasbord of what we need to look at. So you can see how all these different, I'd said a long time ago, Dolly, Vixie, Bondi, and Dolly, Vixie, Bondi, and Goldie. That's bonds, gold, the volatility index, and the dollar. You have to think of them very separately now, even though at moments they're going to be combined. So the whole aspect is the economic aspect, and I'm looking at FCX. Why? Because it's saying there's been some kind of a slowdown over the past month and a half, 2 months, and it's showing up, right? In the trading vernacular, gold has something else going on, and it's down 3 at 1746. It doesn't, even when it looks like it's breaking down, it's all within a containment area between the 1840s and the 1730s so far. But the H pattern that's forming in the weekly chart says just be careful. This is a second H of the Chapman wave. This is both the falling axe breakdown as well as the arch formation, lowercase h like a dreaded H. And we're coming back down again. If we start to trade in the 1738 or lower area Sunday or Monday, that's going to say, gold is kind of now much more out of favor. And that means that the dollar is taking its place. It's not looking fantastic, but it's looking good. If you're looking at the daily chart, there's a U-shaped formation at a peak D underneath the previous high of 73.70, 93.73. I don't like that. I like it to break into legs C or D way above the previous high, and it's kind of stalled there. And the weekly chart says, gold could actually stall. Gold doesn't have to. Dollar could actually stall. Look at the EUR USD. It's trying to form some kind of a base. The dreaded H pattern, actually inverted V, has the same context. Holding not bad. So at 1.1711, remember we're still talking about FCX. I'll be back. Looking at the euro, it's just not in play right now. Yeah, a little short-term, little pops and drops, but I would just say it's not really in play. If you look at the USD, JPY, which is the yen, which trades very much like the dollar, all of a sudden it's taken a leadership role. This is a new leg B. Oh, wait a minute. If that's the low right there, there's a teaching lesson in the Chapman methodology. Remember, your objective is to count each peak and each trough. I don't always do that on the way down, but I almost always do it on the way up. And look, it had from that spectacular move at 108.722 on the 4th of August, it had a huge run up to the 110.80 level, and then a big pullback in the arch formation, but held beautifully. And then it had, look, this is the way you count the Chapman wave notation, a lower peak A, it's still gray A because we haven't got the technicals confirming anything yet, but you always put it in. A, I make it gray, I don't have time right now. B, C, and lo and behold, what did you get? You got your peak D underneath the previous A, but it's a peak D that counts. Ds are important. And it goes into a sell signal because it plummets under the 9 and 14-period moving average. The MACD closes down. Stochastic goes from 70% down to a much lower level. And then it makes a low. And this low here, just for the moment, I'm only going to call this trough A, trough B, little truffles over here. And it never took out the left side low when it made its low 3 days ago. So that low on the 15th of 109.113, look at this, 109.122, just by a fraction. So that becomes new leg A. And this, technically, because we started below that low, yeah, we started at that low there. So if it was this low, that would be different. 109.114, and this is 113. So this is like a brand new leg A to the upside. Here we go. So the yen is breaking out. Up, A. I could call this an E/C just to be a little conservative, but it actually looks to me like it's a leg B. And the weekly chart has gone to a gray leg B. Why gray? Because the MACD and stochastic haven't given any sequence at all. So I'll be back in a moment. And now FCX, let me go back to FCX as we begin to go to break. Will I have time for questions? No, I'm not going to rush this. Got plenty of time. I'll be back in a moment. Dow's up 38, S&P's up 2. I'll be back.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi folks, we're back. Basil Chapman, Dow's up 11, S&P is unchanged. What we're looking at here is just, this is Freeport-McMoRan, Inc., copper, and basically what we're looking at, lower lows and lower highs. It's really important. I suspect that it's going to be in the trading band between the 33s and the 32.51. 33s, maybe the low 34s, and then do a retest of the 30.02, call it the 30 low of Monday. And if it takes that out, that's going to suggest on the monthly chart, yes, a lot of my charts was mentioned in the den, and a lot of people who use the Chapman wave as one of their techniques. Peak B, there's no other way to count it in Freeport-McMoRan. That suggests 2021 and 2022, we're going to see higher prices because you can't get to, in the Chapman Wave methodology, a buy mode that goes to at least a peak B suggests that it should go to a leg C, peak C, and then a leg D, and then a peak D. You can't get that at this particular point. Look, if I go to the S&P trading down a fraction right now at 44.48, underneath yesterday's high. That's in the day after the peak G top at 45.85. It slumps down to 43.05.91. Nice retracement. And now we're going to get the test of everything. I said to subscribers, I'm anticipating some kind of a doji candle with a down move Sunday night into Monday, or there's a down move today. We'll see. The day's young. But if there's a real sharp break to the upside with new highs being made, I'm going to just have to say, you know what, even though the QQQs are lagging the index 100, we could still move higher. So that's the way it stands right now. Now, what's interesting about this is that it's only a leg B. And because we made a new high in September, this leg B, even though it's a red candle, is still active. You can't get a peak B until all of October. If in all of October there's no high above 45.85. That's going to be very important. My suspicion is that we do make some kind of a high, either October or November, we make a peak B, and then we start going to the upside for leg C, and that takes us into early 2021 22 is the earliest you can get a peak C. Why? Peak D. Why? Because if, let's say October, there's no new high, so that means you've got peak B, but then you get leg C, say a new high in November. Well, a peak C gives you December. That still leaves you leg D to come, and then a peak D. That's 2 months more. So at the very earliest case, I suspect it's going to be, it'll be a little stretchy. I'm hoping that we've got a consolidation, we've called correctly, since the highs that were made early this month and in the Dow back in August, and that, in fact, we chop for quite a while and then build strength in this rotational correction. Let's go to Mike in Ormond Beach. Perfect timing. Hi, Mike. How are you?
Hey, Basil. I'm doing great. I'm not able to watch Tiger TV at this time, but my question to you is the bounce that we've been having for the last couple of days, do you, with everything you have seen in the last couple of days, do you think this is just a counter trend rally and will go lower? Because it looks like it kind of stalled out. I'm looking at the Dow, actually the Dow futures, and it looks like it all stalled out right around the 50 SMA on its way up.
Correct. Okay, so let's just do this. So if I do this on an emotional basis, you couldn't speak to anybody right now who wouldn't say to you, oh, we could have a digestive phase, we could have some kind of a pullback, we don't have to have a crash, we don't even have to have a 15% correction, but we've already in some indices had in some stocks we've had a 20 to 25% correction. But in the key indices, so far, this is just a garden variety pullback. Now, let me just do this. So on an emotional basis, the Dow has been stalling since August, right here, since the August high that was made back on the 16th at the 35,630 area. Now, what's really important about this is that the Dow is a perfect mix in the Dow 30 of just everything in the market. I mean, it doesn't have something like a Google, but it has everything else. So as it stands right now, the fact that we ran up now, I just don't know if I can do this. I'll see if I can do this. Let me just do this. Now, you're not looking at the charts, but I'll talk about the charts. So it's not that one. Is it this one here? Oh, I had this all prepared. Yes, I'll do this on the chart, on the daily chart. The volatility index gave a peak D top, VIX, right there, at 28.79 on Monday. And then it pulled back. It still had a green candle on Tuesday, but it was way off the low of 28.79. It was down to 21 area. And then a sharp red candle on Wednesday, sharp red, even lower, gap down on Thursday. and now it's way below the 200 period moving average of 20.05 at 18.71. So if I look at this, I say based on the volatility index, it's usually the same thing over and over, right? It's Delta virus. It used to be China. It used to be impeachment. Every big major peak saw a pullback that lasted at least a month before it started a big rally and spike back. We've got almost a similar parallel night right here, where the VIX index on the 19th of July makes its high of 25.09, drops sharply into the 15 area. On the 19th of August, it pops to 24.74, peak A minus, gives it all back. And now what we're looking at on the 20th of September, so it's like a month, 4 or 5 weeks in between, it pops to the upside, 28.79, and it pulls back. Just based on that, it's accomplished everything that it has normally done. And if you're looking at today, Friday, big red candle in the weekly chart, way above, way below the high, but above the 9 and 14 period moving averages at the moment. But it looks like almost every candle failure after the big pop-up side. That's the one thing. So I'm setting that aside and saying, based on the volatility index, the high that was made in the volatility index and the low that was made on Monday should have been the kind of action reversal that saw, and now I'm going to jump to the QQQ because I've spoken about the S&P and the Dow enough, but look, the MACD is still flat. The 9 is still way above the 14 period in the QQQs. It's struggling. It's down to 178 today, 371.21. It has some good candles, certainly filled in the gap from Friday of last week into Monday of this week. The stochastic's still only at 38%. The on-balance volume has turned around. And every other time that you've had this kind of reversal in the volatility index, what has led us up? But the FANG stocks, those big caps, the biggies. And they are not doing that today. So I'm saying to you, you've got a really good question, but I want to, as I was talking earlier, try to separate everything out, because every sector, every single index at this particular point is trying to find its own momentum. You've got the Bitcoin, which was fantastic, and now it's really struggling, but it's still towards its higher level. So I'm trying to say to you, let's look at, now we can go back to the Dow and I can answer your question. Whoops, can you hold on?
Yes.
Okay. So what we're going to do first, we're going to go back to Mike and Ormond Beach. We'll look at the Dow and discuss what would be a follow-through to the upside that really matches the other moves to the upside. Can it fail? What would it do? What are we looking at so far? It's like it could fail. I'll be back in a moment. Dow's down 9, S&P's down 1. We'll be right back with Mike.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD, Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Hi, folks, we're back and we're looking at, let's just do this real quickly. I want to show just what would be very positive for the Dow. If any time next week the Dow is able to trade, actually in this case it's only to trade, it doesn't even have to close, in the 35,000s, I would then have to say, you know what, the MACD is about to turn positive. This thing can now push towards the major trend line resistance, which is declining every day, but let's call it 35,150, and that makes the 35,280 area a very important potential breakout. At this particular point, it has gone slightly higher than I thought in the arch formation, but most of the things that I'm looking at. So I hope that helps you just to say what would pertain, what are the individual characteristics that I'd be looking for. One is I'd be looking for the MACD to cross positive, and it's only going to do that if it's about a 200-point rally from here, and it has to hold. You're looking at the moment, you say at the futures. Let me just say the futures tried to get to an extended leg A today. It didn't do it. The day's young. But if on the other hand, we've spoken about the positives. If there is a break by Sunday night or Monday in the futures under 34,400, that's only 230.20 points from here. If there is a break to the downside, that suggests that stalling motion that's going to give us the big test of strength. I hope that helps you.
Yeah, and one other thing I'd like to add, Basil, Microsoft and Apple are the two biggest components in the Dow.
Correct.
And they both made lower lows today. Well, they took out yesterday's low. Apple doing it just in the pre-market just around 9 a.m. today. So like you said, that's why I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at everything that I see, and that's what I was wondering,
But Nike is a factor. Nike did drag the market down. I don't know what the percentage is, but it's down 11 at 148, made a peak G daily high. And I'm just saying that in the rotation through the different sectors, I suspect that what we're looking at is some form of consolidation is unfolding, but it'll start to break to the upside if the Dow starts to trade in the 35,000s. So I hope that helps you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. Let's go to Mark. We've got Mark in Fort Collins. Mark, how are you?
Good, Basil. How are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you.
Hey, I wanted to get your thoughts on DraftKings. I originally got in the low 50s. I sold around 62, and I've been looking for a re-entry. They announced a possible buyout of an English company, and that tanked the stock, and I'm wondering what your thoughts are.
Oh, is that the reason? Okay, so we've spoken about this often, and I always have these calls about it. I made a peak D in the Chapman wave with 2 doji candles. I'd spoken about that. That was early September. That was up in the 64s. So you got out really nicely. It's sitting right on the 200-period exponential moving average of 51.83. It made a small, and I remember at the time I said, I don't like a peak D failure way under the previous high. In my work, that just suggests weakness. It doesn't suggest it should tank, but it does say that's weakness, and it's going to have to restart a whole new buy mode, and that's the case in the weekly chart. So let's just make it as simple as possible. DraftKings, at this particular point, should have every single thing going for it. It has certainly had a great rally from 40 to 65, 53% or so gain, but it always gives it back. There's just something not right. So I think you're absolutely in the ballpark with this one. I think you know exactly what to do. You want to start buying as it shows it's going to turn up. In this particular case, it's sitting on a 51-period moving average. If it closes under 50, I wouldn't touch it for the moment. But if it has a bounce and it can take out yesterday's high of 53.85, you don't even have to get there. You just have to get into the, if it can move in the next 2 days to 52.66, nibble. No, nothing more than a nibble. And all I would do is I would nibble on it, because this is in the sector. My suspicion, I have no way of knowing. My guess is this is in a sector that a lot of either fund managers, a lot of folks with big money are saying, hey, this could be online gambling. DraftKings trading at 51.89, up 14 cents, should be a big thing. Looking out, unless the stock market becomes the big gambling thing, which is my impression over the next 8 to 12 months. The stock market's going to be like any game you've ever seen all around the world. That's what I'm thinking. In the meantime, stalling motion, I think that this is the one that you start to nibble. You can add to it as it rises, especially if it's able to go above 53.85. But it is a story stock, and as long as there's some story involved to the upside, keep adding. And on the downside, as soon as there's a story, it says just hold off, because it always takes us huge. 65 to 51, that's only 10 points. That's a big breather, nothing like the move to the upside, but that's a big pullback. So I'd be very careful. I'd only nibble on it if it shows the strength, and by Wednesday, it's got to be showing that strength, because if it closes under 50, I think it can stall for quite a lot longer. Hope that helps you.
Yeah, it does. I was just one quick question. I was looking at your monthly chart, and I don't see. I've got it in a peak C. I don't see where that your little A. For me, the B is the A, but I can't. My chart doesn't show.
Okay, let me just get this opened right now. Oh, I forgot to reverse this. This is the wrong way around. So okay, there it is. So I can't even remember what I did. Let me see if I can move this chart. Yeah, it made. Right here on the October of 2019, the high was 10.15, and the following month was 13. So it's just 2 pennies, but that made peak A. That's the one you're missing.
Yeah, my chart wasn't going back that far.
Yeah, I knew at the time it was hard to see. I also had this as a C. I said, something's wrong with this. The on-balance volume, the doji candle, everything looks like, the Ds very often look like they should be Ds. And that's the case right here. So it did that, and it's made a peak D. It's just going sideways. Nothing wrong with it, but it keeps stalling. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. So, folks, let's go back to this. I said I would do this earlier on. I wanted to show you, look, the Chapman methodology. Remember, I had this notated yesterday, I think to D, the other day, going to noon. That was on the 22nd, right? And then it had a pullback, and it made one new high. I had this left side, right side price time match, cup formation. I said we're using no technicals other than just a couple of patterns. I'm even going to try to do it without any chart formations. And then it goes, this is the E-mini 30-minute chart. And then it goes peak A, peak B, peak C, peak D. Remember, you got to make sure you count each peak, or if you've got a way of, like Steve Rhodes does, it automates it. I have that somewhere. Unfortunately, Herb died, and I didn't be able to follow through on that. But it was at a stage where I had to actually identify the low. I don't like that. And then it went to E, and then it continued in the alphabet to F and G, and it turned down. That was at 2 o'clock on the 23rd, going to 2:30. That's where it turned down. Really nice trade on the downside, and it pulls back all the way to the low this morning at 9 o'clock of 44.10. And then all I did is I drew this trend line. Remember, parallel lines make channels. This is not a channel. This is an expanding wedge. And it makes a low, and then it pops above the resistance. And now it's gone back and tested that resistance. I'll talk about that. I'll show you. Let's do NQZ. How's that doing? Yeah, you know what? I'll do the NQZ when we get back on the 30-minute chart. Basil Chapman, Tiger This are. We'll be back. Dow's down 11.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave! Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Are you looking for a secured investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value, buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi folks, so a question of the day about Sophie, which is Sophie Finance Software. What is it? Sophie Technologies. This is in leg C, broke out of that resistance level. Very nice move up, 19 cents, 17.33. Leg B in the weekly, leg C in the daily. A couple of things real quickly. FXI, this is China now. It's retesting the lows in the arch formation that double. The lowercase h goes to lowercase m. This is not good at all. Just real quickly, Baidu. What was the question here? Get to date. I don't think. Yeah. So yes, Baidu. It's just reversed back down, but it's still way above the low, but it's way above the recent highs. So I just at 157, it's a problem, I think, right now. So I don't want to run out of time because there's a lot to discuss. Just before we go to we wrap it up, I thought I'd have time for the 30-minute. I can do that on Monday. A lot of people are asking, could I do that? Maybe I'll just have a little slot that I have. Maybe 5 minutes we'll do that with the 30-minute charts. Just let me show you real quickly. Look, crude oil. Doing really well. It's broken out of the weekly chart, resistance level. I love this. I think it's going to leg D. It's looking very good. I just wanted to show you the VIX index. If the VIX index today actually closes, it's 1884. If it closes towards the 930 or higher level, That's just going to suggest people are getting a little cautious about the weekend, what comes up early next week. There are a lot of things. Remember, all the activities that we see, all the stuff that's being voted on or whatever around all the Senate, the House, etc., all of that pertains to sudden moves. That's what we saw last Monday, where all of a sudden the China, the internet, just everything came together at once. And that's how it's with. They're all sitting out there as dark cloud covers, but they only come together for a moment. You want to see sustainability of bad news if you're a bear. You want to see it constantly, or you want to see something like a sector such as the Qs trading down to now 212, start to fail and lead the way down, so it drags the strength of the others down. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay tuned. There's great programming here all day. I'll be back on Monday, and check out the newsletter. And have a good day.